Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever had to choose between speaking your mind and biting your tongue? Between playing big and playing small? Between being yourself or being liked? Those are difficult choices all of us face virtually every day. And they're choices that exist on either side of an invisible line. I want to share my story about when I first encountered the line. I've been speaking in front of audiences since I was 5 years old. By the time I was 16, I had already won a number of speech and debate contests. I thought I was hot stuff. In my senior year in high school, I decided to take a speech class. I thought it would be an easy A. I walked into that class full of accomplishments, pride, and arrogance. My teacher asked if I would give one of my award-winning speeches. I said, certainly. When I finished, she gave me her feedback. She looked at me and she said, Mr. Jeffley, that was an outstanding speech. It was well written and delivered. And then she said 4 words that would serve as a turning point in my life. She said, but it wasn't you. I did not see that coming. She continued, I don't know who that was giving a speech, if it was a character or an impression, but it wasn't you. You see, Mr. Jeffley, there's a difference between saying something well and saying something real. I was speechless. I just stood there, my ego burst, pride and arrogance oozing out of me. And the only thing I could think of in that moment were the lyrics to a James Brown song. I was talking loud and saying nothing. And she saw right through me. She called me out. More importantly, she called me forth. She challenged me to be real. And that was the first time I can recall ever seeing the line. The line that separates what is real and authentic from whatever I was doing over there in that speech. I couldn't see it, but she could, and she helped me learn to see it. And I swore from that moment I was going to be real. And thus I set myself up for the most difficult struggle of my life. Because I had no idea how hard it would be to be real in this world. I grew up in the Midwest with 2 parents, a Native American father and an African American mother. I didn't know which one to choose. Was I Indian? Was I black? Was I a mix? And listening to family and friends and teachers and the media and movies and music and TV and magazines and all of these different voices, all of these different ideas about who I should be and what it meant to be real, I was confused. Every now and then I would hear my own voice trying to lead me back towards the line, back to some sense of my own real self. And the closer I got, there were times when I would just be snatched back over here by the desire to fit in. And the more I listened to all those different voices about what is real, the more confused I was. And after a while, I realized how they all started to sound the same. Undifferentiated, unremarkable, unreal. You see, life really is different on both sides of the line. On that side of the line, you would find the real, unvarnished, unpolished, unapologetic, accept me warts and all as I am, me. Oh, but over here on this side, oh, you find something different. You find the polished, practiced version of me, the idea of me, the story of me, the me that you think I am. The me that has sacrificed authenticity at the altar of wanting to be liked. The me that has real things to say, but often lacks the courage to say them. Another great teacher in my life, Osho, once said, You cannot tell the truth unless you're courageous. You cannot be loving unless you're courageous. Hence, courage comes first and everything else follows. You see, if I had the courage to live on that side of the line, I would say 4 words to every young man whose underwear I see. Pull up your pants. Stop trying to live out a fashion statement whose origins you have no idea about. If I had the courage to live on that side of the line, I would say 4 words to every corporation. Pay a living wage. Why? Because people can't live on a trickle. And if I had the courage to live on that side of the line, I would finally admit to the rest of the world a secret that I've been holding on to for over 4 years. A secret that, until only about 2 months ago, I had only shared with 4 people. A secret that if I admitted it, would mean that my version of happily ever after was finally over. And some of you might think I'm a failure. But as one of those 4 friends often reminds me, James, you are as sick as the secrets you keep. Well, I'm tired of keeping secrets, and I'm tired of being sick. My marriage of almost 25 years is over. And I have the courage to admit that now, because it takes courage to be well, and I choose to be well. So it doesn't really matter what anybody thinks or what anybody says, because I would rather live the rest of my life on that side of the line in truth than to merely exist on this side in fear. What about you? On which side of the line are you living your life? And where do you want to be? Me? I'm choosing here. I'm choosing now, and I'm choosing to live on that side of the line. And if you want to, you can too. Who's with me?